everyone. Welcome to the Time to Calibrate podcast. This is episode 49. I'm joined by my co-host, Mark. Brent's away today, but he'll be back soon. Today, we have a really special guest, Andy Burke from Andy's Watches on Instagram and the Watch Chronic on TikTok. Appreciate you coming on. How's it going, Andy?
It's going good. Thanks for having me.
Really glad to have you for sure. As is required with any watch podcast, we like to start with a wrist check. What's on your wrist today?
I have the Trident Atoll diver from Christopher Ward.
That's a beautiful watch. I actually had the chance to get some time with one of those on a vacation. They gave me a loaner that exact watch, and it was perfect with the nice beachy for a nice beachy trip.
Yeah,
At the time. So yeah, it's a beautiful dial on that one.
it's getting a lot of wrist time.
I can imagine for sure.
Yeah.
Mark, what about you?
Yeah, before I start the wrist check on my side, I'd like to remind everyone that the Montreal Timepiece Show is next week, or this week at the time of this listening as it's released. And if you haven't gotten your tickets, by all means, please do so. They're available at timepieceshow.com. Also, the Timepiece Social Club, my group, is hosting a private event on Thursday prior to the show from 7:30 to 8:30. Isotope will be there, obviously, the watches I will be bringing. Tese will be there, Jose Sermino will be there, Duso will be there, Marathon, Christopher Ward, and Bomb will be there, along with some Elon solution brands, which include Micro Milspec, Vario, Sunrex, 22 Studio, Feynman, and Romago. So yeah, be there, be square. RSVP is in the notes, the show notes. We'll put that there. And we hope to see as many of you as possible at the Montreal Timepiece Show and the Timepiece Social Club event. So what am I wearing today? I'm wearing my Fortis Novanaut N42 watch. Still very much enjoying this thing. I wore it yesterday. It was very warm in Montreal, 28 degrees. That's like 85-ish Fahrenheit for you, Andy. And it's big and heavy. It's warm. It was warm. Still enjoy it. What about you, Bob?
I've been doing a bunch of yard work actually all week. So it's been G-Shock and RZE on wrist for most of the week, but I decided to put on something a little nicer and put on the Isotope, the Mercury Shadow for the day. And Andy, anytime we mention Isotope, because Mark worked for the brand, they e-transfer us $20. So
What if I say Isotope?
100%, man.
Nice.
That's a bargain. You guys usually charge me 25, but okay.
I do like Isotope. They're good.
So before we get into our questions, we always begin with a little profile on our guests for the listeners. If you've spent any amount of time in the watch world online, you've probably come across Andy's work. Andy's a content creator who provides fun videos on everything related to watches, known for his rating collections without permission videos and entertaining short form watch commentary. Andy blends humor with a laid back personality, proof that you don't need to take horology too seriously to be seriously into it. In the time Andy has been on TikTok, he has gained over 170,000 followers, which is massive, and his posts have generated over 2.5 million likes. Those are some serious numbers, especially in such a niche category. Instagram numbers are pretty good too, a little over 12,000 followers and countless smiles he's put on enthusiast faces. Kudos.
Thanks, man. That was all.
Hopefully that was somewhat accurate.
Yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah, no
It's been
problem.
really
man.
wild. I haven't even been doing it that long.
How long when did you actually start your TikTok?
The TikTok, the Andy's Watches TikTok is not even a year old.
Wow, man, that is
This one. Yeah, I had one prior. I've done a lot of different TikTok accounts, and the first one that I did wasn't very successful, and it was very different than what I'm doing now.
yeah.
And it's because I wasn't really being myself. I was pretty uptight. I guess I was trying to be like the other guys. So I sounded very scripted.
Was there like a certain moment or maybe another creator that inspired you to start? Like what's the kind of the origin story of the current version of what you're doing?
Okay, well, I mean, to start with, like, the people that inspired me to originally start making watch content were people like Ben's Watches and also Teddy.
Yep.
those two guys mainly. I always watched their content. I was watching Teddy for a long time before I even got on TikTok. And then when I got on TikTok, I was looking to see if there were any watch creators on there. And at that time, there was nobody. And then there was Ben's Watches. And Ben was doing really good stuff. And I latched onto his account pretty quick. So they inspired me, but I was admittedly trying to be like them, I guess. And I was scripted, and I was doing things the way I thought people wanted them done. And I wasn't really being myself. I wasn't getting any traction. It wasn't going well. And then one day I had like a really bad day at work, and I came home in a pretty foul mood, and I just wanted to do something different. So, and earlier that day, I had come across a video. It hit my For You page where somebody was just showing all of their watches in their collection. And it wasn't a celebrity, it was just some person just sharing on TikTok. And in my head, I was like, people rate collections a lot, like on YouTube and stuff like that, but they're always finding a celebrity's watch collection, somebody famous of note,
Mhm.
and they're rating it for entertainment. And I was like, well, why don't I just do some strangers?
It's a good idea, man.
And I was just, yeah. And I was pretty grumpy, but at the same time, whenever I'm talking about watches, I tend to be pretty happy. So it was like kind of this weird dry
Yeah.
take that I did on the very first one, and it went viral and people just wanted more. And now, I mean, I try to put out at least 4 of those a week, 5. They take a long time to run and edit, and they're usually long videos. But yeah, I do like 4 or
Mhm.
5 a week now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long have you actually been into watches? Like, what got you started down the watch rabbit hole?
I've always liked them since I was a kid, but I didn't start collecting them and taking it seriously till a little over 8 years ago when I quit drinking. Yeah, I started to have, just like extra money. And I had one watch that was decent. And I like one day I was like, you know what? I want to get like a nice new watch. And I jumped on YouTube. And then the first person I found was Teddy. And I just started watching all these different videos. And then I found other creators, and I started going down the same rabbit hole that I think everybody goes down.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just started, with the same stuff that most people do. Seiko, all those things. I started to work my way up, got into like Hamilton, then Omega. But then I decided to get away from Omega and then jump on a Grand Seiko, and the rest is kind of history. So I've been trying a lot. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, to me, you seem to have popped out of nowhere. But that's probably the old Bader Meinhof
Yeah.
phenomenon, where my brain started selectively attending to your content and making it feel like suddenly appear out of nowhere. But you've probably been around, like you said, for a couple of years. Either way, your Tom Selleck-esque mustache started filling my feed, and at some point, I started watching, and your humor is what really got me to keep watching. There's one in specific where someone dare you to rate their collection, and I love the way you had edited it. I think this was maybe a couple weeks ago. You had gone back and forth with them as you were talking. The edit was fantastic, and the humor was there. You did such a good job, and that really pulled me in.
Was it the guy with the mustache?
I don't remember. Hey, look, when we started talking to you about doing this show, both Bob and I binged watched a lot of your stuff. So
There was one guy where people were like, we almost felt like you guys were actually having a conversation. And that guy,
that's probably the one.
his video was so
That's the one I saw
well
that too.
done and funny, and it flowed so well. Like when I first found it, I was like, oh, I can't wait to do this. And as I was going through the video, because the one thing that's true is I watch like the first 30 seconds of the videos to decide if I'm going to do it. But then I don't want to know what the rest of the video is, because it makes my video more authentic. It makes it more fun for me too,
Mm,
because I don't know what's next. I don't know what he's going to show next. So
yeah.
I always like to go into him that way. And that guy's video is just so good. And then I ended up speaking to him afterwards, and I found out he's a stand-up comedian and an actor. So he just has like
Charisma.
good presence on camera and good charisma and stuff like that. But yeah, that was actually the most fun I had doing one was his. It was hilarious.
Well, it showed. It really was a good one. And since you got involved into this watch related content online, how has your taste evolved over the time?
Oh, Ooh, a lot actually. And the one thing that I'm thankful for is I started in this hobby with not a lot of money, but an open mind. And I've never like now I can afford a little bit better than what I was getting before, but nothing crazy. And I've always just kind of had the same mentality where like if it looks good, the specs are good, and I've researched the brand and this all looks okay, like I don't care what other people think. This is my watch. Like it's for me. You're supposed to wear what you love, right?
Yep.
And my tastes have evolved even more than they already were, and it's because of outside influence, other creators, taking chances because I needed like content ideas, and kind of realizing that there are a lot of things that I like, and even more than I thought before. Like for the longest time, I knew that I liked like maybe smaller case watches, but I didn't think I would go too small. And then I was gifted a vintage watch that I believe is like 32 millimeters,
Holy cow.
and I love wearing it. I never thought I would like something like that, but I love it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I'm an old dude and I can't wrap my head thoroughly around TikTok. I mean, I have a niece that's all over it, and I don't know, just it's not for me. But uh, you do both Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
How different are the audiences between Instagram and TikTok?
Well, TikTok has better reach, better algorithm. Um, so if you want to get seen, TikTok is definitely the one. Once you have established yourself, like Instagram can get better. But the thing that I noticed is like I didn't start my Instagram until my TikTok had been going for 6 months.
Mm,
So I already had around 100,000 followers on TikTok, and then I started the Instagram.
okay.
I had an Instagram that was just like my normal social Instagram where I posted all sorts of stuff like gym content, everything else. So I had to start a new one, and the audiences are similar, but I'm seeing more negativity, more trolling, and more hostility on Instagram, and more positivity and a wider audience on TikTok. I know a lot of people are really apprehensive about TikTok because it is weird. It's different than the other ones. But the truth of it is it has the best algorithm for social media, period. Like there isn't an algorithm that will ever beat TikTok unless they do what TikTok is doing.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Maybe we should give it a shot.
yeah,
That's interesting.
it's the best way to grow. It's the best way to get seen. But I've also told brands that if they want to get seen, it is the best route, and I've already seen it happen.
Mhm.
The owner of Monceau, the micro brand that's like a revival brand.
Yeah.
The moment that he started doing TikToks and then started sending his watches out to TikTok creators, and also obviously Russell Crowe, the moment he started posting videos and getting his watches over to creators, he started basically liquidating his stock. His inventory just like flew off the shelves. He sold out of one color in like 3 days.
Wow.
Wow.
And he was on Instagram for months and months and months, paying for marketing, paying all this ad money through Meta and all these other things to get seen. And I've told people like, that's great, do it, but you don't have to pay anything, and all you got to do is go viral once on TikTok, and you're seen by possibly millions. Like you never know, and you don't have to pay for that marketing space.
Yeah, we paid for a boosted post for our show for our podcast, and it did diddly squat, like literally nothing. It was a complete and utter waste of money with the Meta boost. We
It
might
is.
try. I'm going to see what I can do with TikTok, maybe for Isotope, and see if I can push some videos out there and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're pretty popular on TikTok. I don't think they have much of a presence, but they're talked about a lot
Yeah.
on there. Isotope is, yeah.
Mm.
I'm trying to get Paul in to go on TikTok soon too, because every time I've talked about their watches, people freak out, and then they hit my DMs and they're like, "Do they have a TikTok?" And I'm like, "Not yet, but hopefully soon."
See what I can do there.
Mhm.
And do certain type of watches do better on TikTok than others?
Yeah. Right now, the sweet spot I've learned just because of the age groups that are more common on TikTok is anything, whether it's a big brand or a micro brand or independent, that is like 500 to 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's the pocket right there. Obviously, there are people that are on TikTok that are interested in much more expensive pieces, and you can appeal to them as well. And if you go on Instagram, you're going to appeal to all those people. But the more affordable range and like those like entry level luxury pieces, those price ranges, they kill on TikTok. They do
Wow.
really well. Yeah.
Is it also plastered with the AP swatch garbage like Instagram is right now?
Right now, yeah. And if you go to my channel, you'll only see one little video, and it's not even about it. I just mention it in the beginning of the video. I stayed away from all of it because the hype never got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob and I stayed away from social media altogether on the weekend.
I literally, I got sick of looking at it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put the phone away this weekend because it was so
Yeah.
abrasive after a while.
Well,
but-
and once I saw the actual release, I was actually relieved that it was just like this pocket watch.
yeah,
My fear was that it was going to be a plastic Royal Oak, which is uninventive. There's no thought that goes into that. They're just like, hey, let's take our most timeless and popular design and make it into plastic.
mm-hmm.
But that's what Ulugs and others are going to do.
Yeah, it's just a cash grab and that's it. But the pocket watch thing, kind of cool, right? But like those, we've already been told now the movements aren't serviceable.
Yeah.
So you have something that has that's consumable, basically.
Yeah,
It's bioceramic, but let's also face it, like anybody that's worked with different materials, maybe in like blue collar jobs, maybe machining or plastics, they know that bioceramic is essentially just a fancy plastic. It's powdered ceramic and plastic.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a composite of the two,
mm-hmm.
and it's cheap. It's not not the same ceramic that is used for high-end ceramic watches.
Of course not.
And
Of course not.
and all these people think that it is, and it's not. But at the end of the day, they didn't take the easy route. But also, all of the toxicity and hype surrounding it is not for me, and I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon. But my views suffered for the entire week.
Oh yeah.
And as a paid creator, that kind of hurt, because it's like, wow, so because I'm not going to talk about a plastic watch, my views are just going to suck and I'm not going to get a good payout. All right.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
And you have to think also that the funny part is that they're using the System 51 movement, which is called the System 51 because it's 50 parts and one screw holding the whole thing together.
Yeah.
Well, if you take out the automatic winding works, you no longer have 50 parts. So what is it? System 49, 48?
Yes.
I don't know.
Switching topics, because I think we've all heard enough about
Oh, yeah.
this. Tons of watch shows going on kind of this
Yeah.
time of year. I know you've been traveling to Geneva, London, San Francisco recently too. Is this a full-time gig for you now at this point?
Yeah, this is all I do. I quit my job.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
So how long ago was that you snipped the cord on your regular day job?
Almost 3 months now.
That's got to be a good feeling.
It's nice being your own boss. That's for sure. It's scary, but it was worth it. I have to be careful, but at the same time, it's so much better waking up not feeling stressed.
Yeah, no, 100%. I was especially enjoying your trip to London. I went to British Watchmakers Day last year, and you were sort of retracing my steps with the Time and Tide visit, the Christopher Ward visit.
Yeah.
Both of those are must-see places. Any watch related travel coming up for you later this year? Or?
I leave. Yeah, like when we spoke about doing this, we were gonna do it on the 22nd, but that's when I leave for Miami.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be down in Miami with my friend Federico, who's the owner of Del Rey Watch.
Yeah, Federico Talks Watches. Yeah. Is he on?
Yep. Yeah, I'll be.
Is he on TikTok now too, or is he?
He is. Yeah, Federico Talks Watches does have a TikTok account now, and I love the way that he does it because he basically takes like hot topic moments from like stuff that he talked about on his YouTube, and he'll chop it up just to get the good juicy parts and then put it in a video for you that's like under a minute.
He's like a good hot take guy. That's sort of
He is.
perfect for like
Yep.
short form, actually. Yeah.
What I typically agree with his hot takes, and like he's somebody that he's definitely one of my favorite people that I've met in the watch world. He's just a very genuine dude. Like what you see in the videos, that personality that you see, that is who he is. Spent a lot of time talking to him and stuff like that. And this weekend, we're gonna shoot a little bit of content, talk about watches and stuff like that, but also just kind of kick back. Maybe just play with some watches a little bit. He's got some new inventory that he just got in, so we're gonna be going through that. I think he just came back with almost 200 watches.
Wow, that's cool.
So your challenge now is you got to rate every single one of those watches in one video, under a minute.
Oh my god!
Boom.
So he's got some bangers right now that I can't wait to get on video for my followers, because like having them in hand would be nice to show people, because he does buy stuff that you just don't see anywhere else.
No, that's right. And then people don't get to see. It's one thing seeing them in a nice picture, perfect lighting, and all that stuff, but having it in hand,
Yeah.
on someone's wrist, someone normal to talk about these things, and
Yeah.
not some, influencer with a Lamborghini and diamonds all over the place. Someone natural, and it's kind of cool.
So one cool thing that happened to you was a special gift from Russell Crowe. You mentioned him earlier. I see he's been creating watch content now too, but can you tell us how that all happened? Like the whole story of that?
Yeah. So that's wild, man. So full disclosure, and sorry for the sirens. I live in the city.
Oh, no worries.
I'll let them pass by.
Yep.
The crazy, well, the thing that made it so special for me is like, so I'm 41. So I grew up, like I was a teenager when his biggest movies were coming out. So he's like a very big deal for me.
Mhm.
He's always been one of my favorite actors of all time. And Gladiator is like, I mean, it's like a top 3 movie for me. I had the poster in my room when I was a kid. And so all of it's like pretty unreal, because like it could have been a different actor
Yeah.
that was into watches. Still would have been cool, but like this is one of my heroes. And I was live, because I do live broadcasts on TikTok. I do them every night. And I was live talking to my people. And one of my followers, who's typically kind of a smart aleck, he came in, and he sometimes trolls, but always like lighthearted trolling. I like him.
Mhm.
He came in and he goes, "Hey man, you better shut down the live." I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Russell Crowe just made a video calling you out." I go, "Oh, okay." And I just kept doing the live. I didn't believe him, And then like 4 or 5 more people like trickled in saying the same thing. And I was like, well, maybe he did. So I hopped off and I went and I found the video, because people were tagging me in it. And sure enough, like he had written a caption. It said, "Don't show that Andy fella." And then when he got ready to show his watches, he looked at the camera. He said, "Don't be rating this." And I was like, oh shit.
Wow, man.
So yeah. And now, I mean, now that's my friend. I text and chat with him, and we talk watches. I hung out with him in London.
That is wild, man.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
That's very cool.
He's got some pretty cool watches too. Like I see, like he's getting into like some of the smaller independent brands that he shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's very cool, man.
He's not a snob. He'll buy anything.
Yeah.
He'll wear anything. If it's cool, he'll get it. He's one of us. That's the best way to put it. Like he's an Academy Award winning actor and mega famous, but he's still one of us. Because
he's even placing some he's wearing one watch. I can't remember what brand in one of his latest movies. I know the brand was reposting it.
William Wood.
Yeah, William Wood. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one too. Yeah, I got one.
Wow.
And actually, so like I love the watch. And I would keep it. But my dad, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos where I have my dad react to watches. My dad had such a crazy reaction to the William Wood watch that I've actually already wrapped it up, and that's going to be his Father's Day gift this year.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
But Yeah, William Wood, he wore that in a movie. And we're hoping that maybe in one of his next movies we'll see kind of an obscure piece. Because he always chooses his watches for the movies that he does. If you go and you watch, I can't say for sure that every movie he's ever done he gets to choose his own personal watch, but the majority of the movies that he's been in, those are his watches.
Yeah, he had a really cool 5513 in Gladiator. It was pretty awesome. The only problem is now is that you can't let your dad listen to this podcast until after Father's Day.
Yeah, and that's what sucks about like him being on my TikTok. Like I love that he's part of it now because he has a TikTok account. He doesn't make videos, but
Oh, wow.
he has an account, and now like he comments on videos and he even replies to other people's comments. And now he's following some of my friends and followers and he's commenting on their videos.
Okay.
So he's all over the place in there. So I can't talk about it on my TikTok, even on lives, because I don't know if he's like in the live. But yeah, he's become like a big part of the channel. And it's been nice because it's a way to stay connected with my dad.
Sure. Sure.
And also like the whole Russell Crowe thing is obviously crazy for him too, because I used to watch all those movies with my dad. So
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a huge fan too. Gladiator, I'm a little older than you are, and I remember Gladiator when it came out
yeah,
and seeing it in the theater, and it was just, what a movie. What an epic. And Beautiful Minds. And
Yeah.
just such great movie. Just
Master and
an
Commander
incredible
is,
act.
is another one that's really big for
Master
me.
Commander, yeah.
Yeah. Gladiator I saw for my 15th birthday in the theater.
Wow.
It came out a few days after my birthday, and like the previews were, obviously on TV for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I just remember like finally looking at my parents one night and being like, I want to go see that for my birthday.
Mhm.
And they took me. Yeah.
That's wild.
Now I got the watch. Yeah.
That is wild, man.
Yeah. I got insurance on that watch right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. So what's harder, staying consistent with the content or staying authentic with your opinions?
Staying consistent with the content.
Yeah.
I always tell people, like, even when I'm questioned, because sometimes, I mean, it's always going to happen, right? People are going to be like, did you get paid to say that? Did you get paid to do this video? My integrity is never for sale. And if I do get paid to do videos in the future, it's still going to be with my opinion in the video. And I'm never going to do things that people tell me to do. I'm never going to let somebody tell me like, hey, do the video this way and say this, this, and this. I'm never going to be that guy. The best I can do is just keep being myself and hope that people, trust that I'm not selling out. But yeah, like there are times where I'll wake up and I'll think about a video to do and I'll be like, you've done too many of those. You can't. Like, and then all of a sudden I'll be blanking out and it's like writer's block. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to put out. And I have to put stuff out every day. I don't get a day off.
Oh, wow.
If I don't put up a video, I don't get paid. So,
Wow. So how does it work with TikTok? It's not like YouTube where video is perpetually on there, and then as it gets more views and more likes and whatever, you get revenue. Is TikTok just, it disappears after a while, or is it just continues to?
it will gain revenue and get you paid for the entire month.
Okay.
So the month that it's out, whatever it generates, that's your payout. So
And if that video generates more likes the month after, nothing.
nothing.
Okay. Okay. So it does force you to keep on going, right?
Yeah, it does force you to keep on going, because if it was the other way around, a lot of us would be just, yeah, there would be a lot of money getting tossed around, I think.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you get a couple really good viral videos with the way their algorithm works, they would be shelling out money left and right to these creators. I mean, I would love it. That would be cool. But yeah. But yeah, it's one of those things. The video has to be over a minute long. It has to be your original content, and it can't break any of the rules. So
That's interesting.
Have you ever changed your opinion of a watch after handling it, or due to some audience feedback?
Yeah. Yeah, it just recently happened. And it may or may not have had a little bit to do with a not stern conversation, but um a a conversation with like a heavy pat on the back kind of thing from Russell.
Okay.
So for a while I'd been saying stuff about Shinola, but admittedly never owned a Shinola watch, never really handled one. Kind of used like other people's opinions to form my own. And I was saying a lot of stuff about Shinola. And then when I hung out with him in London, he was like, "You do know that your take on Shinola is dog shit, right?" And I was like, "Whoa, what do you mean?" And he basically like re-educated me. And he was like, for the pricing, this, and this, and they never claim that they're 100% made in the USA. They say they're assembled in the USA. But he also kind of told me how this was like, a brand that was trying to bring something special to a city that needed it.
Oh yeah, in a time when it needed the most.
In a time that needed it the most, and also using a brand that was already well known for other things and trying to expand it. The name Shinola, that whole saying, he said, that saying goes back to when it was shoe shine. But people use it for like the watch brand now, Shit or Shinola or whatever. But yeah, and then I went and I handled a few. So my friend just bought one and I went and I checked it out and I was handling it and I was like, oh, you know what? I guess I was wrong. And I had to make a video about it. So, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. We're entitled to our opinions, but we're also entitled to be wrong. And, with evidence and with, some experience, come back and change your mind. I mean, the people who double down and never change their mind are the ones that are mostly wrong.
Yeah. 100%.
So in your opinion, what goes into making a great watch video? And also, how do you keep your content fresh and manage to be so prolific?
Well, a good watch video is anything now for me, anything that's original. It's hard to see something that you haven't seen before. But you can take like an idea that's been done many times and put your own original spin on it, which is kind of what I did with the Raiden collections. I like anything like that. The guy that I've been watching the most right now that I think is a really good example, who's just constantly coming up with new ideas that you don't see anywhere else, is a guy who goes by Raven Labs on TikTok and Instagram. The Raven is spelled with a W. It's WRAVEN. He does some of the best edits I've ever seen. Very unique ideas. Like he comes up with unique complication ideas for watches and will come up with he'll have a full green screen, like animation behind him showing all the intricacies of what he's trying to create. But he also keeps it very funny. Like he's hilarious at the same time. I definitely encourage you guys to check out his content. He's pretty slept on.
Do me a favor, send me that name.
I will.
In a message later. I'll put it in the show notes for everyone else to check out as well.
Yeah.
And what trends are you loving right now, and what trends do you think are overhyped?
The trends that I'm enjoying right now is anything that involves the community. So I like a lot of where people set up videos where they can either be stitched or duetted on TikTok. So if you pose like a cool question, a fun question that like requires people to stitch your video and do a video response to it, I'm always going to like that in any hobby community because it just opens up, more opportunity to expand on the topic even more. Like you can go even further after the second video. I like those. But the trends that I don't like anymore is anything that's elitism and also really boring wrist rolls.
Especially the really slow ones. They're the worst.
Nobody ever asked for the slow wrist roll. And like the one guy that did it to be funny, he did it. And I bet like he was like, that was pretty good. But then after he did it, and he saw people doing it more and more and more, I bet you that guy was like, all right, fucking stop it. Like, Enough is enough. Like, it was fun the one time. Now everybody's doing it. It's like, yeah, how many times we got to see that bracelet, man?
Yeah. Oh man.
I do it
I'm
fast.
guilty for the odd rich roll.
I flip them over pretty quick. Like, I'll
Yeah.
start to roll slow, but then I just flip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really driving me crazy. But yeah, I don't see any really bad trends. You see the same ones that you see on Instagram, YouTube, and everywhere else that I think just aren't gonna go away. So it's not worth mentioning them. Like, there's always gonna be elitism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that
You can't avoid it with the prices these things go for, right? I mean, it's going to attract a lot of that.
it's true, but I also think that it makes the hobby better because if you're avoiding the toxicity and the elitism, you find your space.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So you cover obviously a huge range of watches, especially when you're looking at people's collections. Do you prefer chatting about the smaller independent brands or the more established heritage brands?
I think it depends on my mood.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a big fan of both. Like, I just went really hard on micro brands and independents for a while, but it's because it was all that I was around for the longest time.
Mhm.
I'm going to be dialing it back because I think people are forgetting that, like, I'm a huge Omega fanboy and a Panerai fanboy, and I'm into Grand Seiko and like a lot of these big brands as well. The one thing that excites me the most is getting hands-on with something I've never tried before. Doesn't matter if it's a micro brand, independent, or
Yep.
big brand. It's just if it's something I haven't tried, yeah, I'm excited. And like lately, I've been trying a lot. Like, I have this whole briefcase is filled with like press pieces that I've been reviewing,
Mhm.
and I have stuff in here that, like, there's a few brands that I had never even heard of till I like met them. This guy right here, I want to mention him because he's a friend of mine now. He goes by Ash Watches,
I haven't heard of that.
and it's a micro brand that he does for fun. These are all repurposed cases from really old watches. He finds either like old Wittnauer, Gruen, old watches, and he refinishes the cases, repurposes them, makes his own dials that are all really crazy, and puts various different movements in them. Like, some of them, this one right here that he sent me, it has one of those quartz movements that has a sweep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and this case right here is a 1952 Wittnauer case.
That's cool.
It's just really neat. And I mean, it's a $350 watch. It's made to order from him. Ash does custom. So like everything that is done here is like basically like you can call him up and be like, I want this, 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 and this. And he'll just do it, made to order. This one's called the Andy. This one's called the Drew. And these were made for me.
That's awesome.
They were made for me. Yeah.
That's my favorite part about that's how I kind of gravitate to the smaller brands like that, because of the people. You know what I mean? Like, the owners are like just they're passionate about what they do. They're just cool dudes or gals, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to be able to go do a lot of these shows, right? Working for Isotope, I get to travel over North America to a lot of these shows, and a lot of these brand owners and representatives are friends now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, I love those brands because of the people behind them more than, I mean, the watches are fantastic too.
Yeah.
But those people mean a lot to me, and I'm sure that's the same for you now that are traveling to different shows as well
100%.
and working directly with them too.
Yeah. I mean, geez, the guys that run the brand Awake are like definite personal friends of mine that I like. I see them, I run and give them a hug. I love those guys.
Yeah.
Same with Raphael that runs Formex and his entire team. I've known them for years now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've hung out with them outside of shows so many times, getting wild and crazy late at night. Like, I love all those people. The micro brand owners are the most fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Raphael and what's his buddy?
Marcus. Yeah. I love
are
Marcus.
great guys to have drinks with.
Yeah.
Oh,
Marcus
yeah,
is like,
That's for
he's
sure.
the nicest guy ever. He really is. Like
Oh yeah.
he's such a treasure, like such a perfect guy to be in that space. He loves to
yeah,
talk to people. He's very likable, but he knows his shit. He also speaks like 5 languages.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. I hung out with those guys many times. I reviewed their first watch when they took over the brand, and I also reviewed one of the first Formex watches 21, 22 years ago, or maybe longer than that. When Formex first started with the suspension cases, they were
Yeah, they
big
were
honking
huge.
watches. I was writing for a magazine
I
at the
remember
time,
them.
so I've been around Formex for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, if you need to get up bright and early the next morning, they're not the brand to hang out with, though. I can tell you that right now.
Raphael goes,
No.
well, and here's the funniest thing. So like I was hanging out with all of them in San Francisco, and like we all went out one night, and I don't drink. So I hung out for like a little bit. We had Korean food, and then I hung out for a little bit afterwards, and then I went home. And when I left, I saw Lillian and Thibaut from Awake, and they were looking a bit tired. And I said, I'm heading out, guys. And I said, you guys leaving soon? And they were like, yeah, we're going to leave soon. And I was like, you sure about that? I was like, you're hanging out with Raphael right now. And I was like, I see a drink in your hand. I was like, if you're having a drink with Raphael, it's not going to go well. They were like, we'll be fine. And then the next day, I saw them at the show, and I see Thibaut walking up, and he looks so tired. And I go, hey, how'd last night go? And he goes, I really should have just left. And I go, yeah. I go, Raphael goes a little hard. And he goes, that guy's a maniac. And I go, I know. But the funniest thing is Raphael strolled in like nothing happened.
Yes, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You'd think he was ready to go jump out of an airplane or go skiing.
There's some karaoke stories in Toronto from last year that
They love
probably shouldn't share.
karaoke, dude. I won't ever go and do karaoke with them again. Because I don't drink, like that was the first time that I realized that
Yeah.
I can't do karaoke anymore. Because I hadn't been around that scene since I quit drinking. And then like I hung out with all of them. This was like 2 years ago. And at the end of the show, Marcus was like, hey, we're going to go to a karaoke bar after this. Do you want to go? And I was like, it's not really my thing, but I'll go and I'll hang out. I lasted 20 minutes and I ran out of there. I was so annoyed. Because I realized I was like, you have to be drunk to enjoy this. And
Yeah,
you have to be drunk to want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So I ran out.
That's crazy. So the last few days, obviously, we talked about it, but the social media has just been flooded with the certain brand collab that I don't even want to mention the names anymore. But do you find that social media has changed the way people collect for the better or worse now?
I think for a while it made it worse. Like in the early days of social media, it was just elitism.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can remember being in watch groups back on Facebook back, like 9 years ago. And it was like, don't you like in the wrong groups, don't you dare post a Seiko because you're just going to get trashed. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Now you don't see that. You see a lot of people encouraging people to just wear what they love and also don't go outside of your means. Don't take out a loan.
Mhm.
Buy what you can afford and enjoy what you can afford because you can find something nice in every price range. That used to not really be a thing that was talked about a lot. So I think nowadays, like 2026, it's for the better. Yeah.
I agree. Actually, I never really thought about it, but even back then, because I've been around for a while, 7 or 8 years on social media too, and there was a lot. I found there was a lot more trolling
Yeah.
back then. The lot more elitism, like you're saying too, and it seems like that's gone. I mean, I there used to be my feed would be filled with guys with the wrist check with the steering wheel of the whatever car.
Yeah,
You know
and-
what I mean? Or all of the watches are along the
Seen
steering
that
wheel
so many
and all of
times,
that
and like,
kinda,
yeah, unless
Yeah.
in that steering wheel better show a Maserati or a Mercedes or BMW. Like, if it's
Yeah,
a Toyota, it's just like, unless it's a brand new one. I don't. Yeah, people got really weird about that, and yeah, it wasn't about that. So like, I remember just being like a silent watcher in the early days of those.
Mm.
And I didn't feel comfortable talking about my pieces or sharing my watches at all. I was always nervous.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't like that. Now I'm always excited, even if it's a cheap watch.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, times have changed. When I started doing this online, it
Yeah.
was way before all that. And it was a lot of, micro brands didn't exist. It was, Oris was a micro brand. It was $400 or $500 Oris watches, brand new. And, Rolex were $2,000 and Omega Speedmaster was $1,800. And then, like you said, as soon as it started getting more popular, then the elitism started, popping in, and then Instagram came around and the rest of social media. And then, I think that, COVID and the amount of attention that watches got during COVID
Yeah.
really sheds a lot of light on our little business, our little industry. And I think now, coming off the heels of the finance bros and the not the .com, but the NFTs and all that garbage going away, I think that things are starting to get back to, people really enjoying watches for what they are and sharing enthusiasm with everyone.
Thank God.
I think that's what we
Yeah.
need. Yeah. Tell me about it. Thank God. So on that note, do you think that short-term content has changed how people collect watches? 'Cause Bob makes longer form videos. I write reviews, so my stuff is long. Bob's stuff is longer. You're more in the realm of the short form, a minute, 2 minute kind of content.
I do.
So you think that's
Yeah.
changed the way people collect now?
But whenever you're getting your information faster, you're making your decisions faster. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And people's attentions are not what they used to be.
I can't always get excited at this, but like sometimes I'll read messages from people that'll be like, I've been collecting watches a long time. I see these a lot. It's crazy. And people will be like, I took a break, but you sparked my interest again. And I like that part of the message, but it's always at the end where they go, in the past 3 months, I've bought 13 watches. And then I'm like, man, does your wife hate me right now or what? Like that's cool. And like, it's nice to know that I have that kind of influence, but like, and also though, like, I think it does have a lot to do with short form.
Yeah. You're probably responsible for some divorces out there.
If you spend 30 minutes on my page and just go through my videos, you're going to learn about like 50 brands.
Yeah, true.
Is it searchable? Is TikTok searchable? Like, I don't know anything about TikTok. Like I said earlier, can you pop in a brand name and will your video pop up? Like, how does that work? Is it,
If you put in a brand name for like a watch brand in the search bar, you will get all the videos about that brand. And then like the top ones that pop up will be the most popular ones. So, yeah.
okay? So chances are some of them might be yours.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's I test it because like, so for example, like I'm still reviewing this watch right here from Paulin.
Yep.
Their diver.
Yep.
And after I put up the video, I just went and before it even started getting views, I wanted to see the other videos on Paulin that were on TikTok, and there weren't that many. I Googled Paulin or I searched Paulin watches in the search bar, and I think I saw like 10 mentioned where they talked about Paulin watches, and I'm like, okay. And then after this video, the first one that I put up went up, I saw more surface up, and they were all very recent. So other people saw me talking about them, so they decided to talk about their Paulin watches, and all it does is just keep creating a web that spreads.
Okay.
And that's why I told them, I said, by the time you guys get on TikTok, you're going to see a bunch of people that are already talking about you guys.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you think that watch related enthusiasm is healthier now than it was 5 years ago?
I do. 100%. Yeah.
What do you actually, I was just curious, what do you shoot on actually? I'm kind of a camera nut, so just phone?
Mostly phone. I did just sell a camera that I used for video. And the video was decent on it, and I would use it a lot of the times for like outdoor stuff, but a lot of times I'm filming in my apartment and the phone is all that I need. So for a while I had the X-T30 Fujifilm.
Yep.
That I was using for video. I bought that when it was new. So I bought that like 6 years ago. And I used that for the longest time, but now, dude, I have only my Rebel. That's it. And then I just bought a Leica.
And do you use like a DJI mic or something like that, or?
DJI mics. Yeah, I got a DJI mics. I got the DJI. I got 2 gimbals from DJI. I've got a couple sets of mics from them. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, they make some good product for sure.
Yeah.
So what's next for you in terms of additions to your own collection? Is there anything you're on the hunt for
Yes.
now?
Yes. So I'm cooling it on micro brands because I've gone crazy on them, and I have enough micro brand stuff to fill me for a while, and I still have 2 more that are on the way. I have a Christopher Ward that's arriving next week. That was actually gifted to me from them, so I'm very thankful for that. They're sending me the Lumiere Trident in orange.
Nice. Yep.
I love that. But then I also I just pre-ordered a Formex because I want to have 3. I told them, I said, by the time I get 3, that means you have to make me a brand ambassador. I jokingly say that, but I'm kind of hoping that Raphael one day is like, hey man, we're thinking about doing that. Cause that would be fun. But I just pre-ordered the Essence Legera with the gray dial.
Those are nice.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And then Russell and I both are done until October. So like the Essence was the last one that I pulled the trigger on. And then it's funny. He texted me like 2 days ago and he was like, all right, man. He's like, I said I was only going to get 1 more watch. I went to the store. I ended up getting 2 watches. He's like, so I'm fucking done until October. And I was like,
last words.
he will though. Like if he says it, he will stick to his guns. He will. And
a lot of releases between now and October, I'll tell you right now.
That's the thing though. And like, but when he said that to me, I think he also said that to me because it was him telling me like, hey mate, you've been going hard too. You need to pump the brakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it made me realize that I do. So I told him, I said, hey man, I just pulled the trigger on my last one. And I said, I also just put up a video about my goals for 2026, for the rest of 2026 for my collection. And really the only big goal that I have is a more significant piece. It's not a micro brand. It's definitely going to cost over $5,000. So I was like, I'll also wait until October with you. So I don't know what he plans on buying in October, but in October for me, I'm either going to buy a 36 millimeter Explorer or one of 3 IWC Pilots watches. It's a toss up. And you guys are watch guys, so this will make sense to you and you'll understand why it's a debate for me. So it's for the IWCs, it's between the Mark 15, the Mark 18, and the Mark 20, all for different reasons. The Mark 20, obviously, for the movement. The Mark 18 for the price. Because right now, you can get Mark 18s pretty much for the cheapest as far as modern IWC marks go. Then the Mark 15, because it's the best dial layout that they've ever fucking done. It's the best.
Better bracelet too.
Oh my God. It's a beautiful watch. It's so timeless. Like I love the hands, everything about it, but those are popular for a reason. And I'm seeing the prices go up lately.
Yeah.
On pre-owned ones. And I think they're only going to keep going up.
Oh yeah.
Because they're distancing themselves from that layout and that design language, and they're going more towards what they're doing now. And I'm like, oh, this is really going to be a thing of the past soon. So it's
neo vintage almost, right?
Yeah. And
they're gorgeous watches, and
love them.
That bracelet with the little dimples or whatever you want to call them is so supple. It is so good on wrist. It's unbelievable.
It feels like silk.
Oh, it does.
It's like if they turned like steel into silk somehow. It's the weirdest shit.
Yeah. And IWC does quite a number on the ETA 2892. That movement is quite special, even though it's run of the mill ETA, whatever people say.
Bulletproof.
IWC does a number on it. It's a phenomenal watch. And just so our listeners know, you probably already know this, but the Mark 20 movement, IWC's movement, is actually a Baume Mercier, right? It's the Baumatic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. Probably has a big better power reserve, but when it comes time to getting that thing serviced later on, that Mark 15 is, in my opinion, if I were to choose between those 3, I love the Mark 15.
Yeah, and Federico has one right now, and I'll be seeing it. It's in Miami. So
hey, with those 200 watches you guys are gonna be looking at, one can just although I don't think I'd mess with Federico, to be honest.
No.
Not a good idea.
No.
So We all have the one that got away story. Is there a watch you maybe regretted not purchasing or a watch you regretted selling? What's that watch for you?
Oh man, I don't know which one is worse, the one I regret selling or the one that I did not purchase.
Let's have them both.
It's like there's been a few, but so the one that got away is not a super significant piece. It was really special for what it was because at the time, like it was when I first started getting into watches seriously, and I had never spent like over $500 on anything. And then I finally decided I was like, okay, it's tax return season. My tax returns coming in. I had a good year. I'll spend a little bit more. So I spent like 1,500 on a watch, and I bought a Frederique Constant. Um, it was one of the classics, the open heart in gold. And it wore perfectly on my wrist, and it was like really nice and made me feel special. It made me feel like I had something special, right? And I really loved it. And then I ended up selling it a few years later because I just wasn't wearing it that much.
Mm.
But then literally the moment I sold it, there were so many times where I was like, man, I want to wear that watch. I shouldn't have sold that. I shouldn't have sold it. And it was one of the references that they didn't make for that long, and you just can't find it anywhere. And now if I try and find it, I can't ever find one, especially like in good condition.
Yeah,
So
that's unfortunate.
yeah, it's just one of those things that like and now they're way more expensive on the pre-owned market than they used to be.
Yeah. Well, everything is, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of out of hand now.
Yep. So that was a big deal that kind of sucked. But then also for me, there was a point in time when the pre-owned market was not like the pre-owned market was in a spot where like you could get a lot of things for a steal. And I came into a decent amount of money, and I could have got a Blancpain 50 Fathoms Bathyscaphe, which is one of my favorite watches. And this was 5 years ago. The price difference on that watch from 5 years ago pre-owned to now is so ridiculous that it makes me sick.
Yeah.
And I passed on it to buy something really fucking stupid. And like, I don't even want to say what it is, but I did because in my head, I was like, you know what? Like, you'll see another one of those Black
Yeah,
Pines.
yeah, yeah. It's always like that. It's always like that.
I
You always think you'll find
I
another one.
bought a Maurice Lacroix icon when they were brand new, when that design was new,
Yeah.
thinking it was going to be fucking awesome. I'm sorry for cursing so much, but this is such a sore subject for
No,
me.
that's fine. No worries.
I got that watch in, I tried it on, and I hated it so much. It didn't fit me. It was way bigger than I thought. The dimensions were weird. It's not a bad watch.
It's an odd
Yeah,
fitting watch.
the quality of the build is great. Everything, all of that is just fine, but man, what was I thinking?
That's what you bought instead of the Blancpain?
I spent thousands on that because I got a deal on it for a brand new one in box and papers, and it was like the hype watch at the time. Everybody was buying them,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was going to save $1,000 on a new one. So I got that when I could have just spent $2,000 more and got a pre-owned Blancpain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
And now there's no way I could ever get it for that price. Tack on, yeah, I'd have to spend 5,000 or 6,000 more to get that Blancpain.
Yeah, on top of that, yeah. There's probably figure watches now. It's so sad.
Yep.
Yeah, Blancpain used to be the steal, the sleeper hit
Yep.
in the background, and now, if you want a 50 Fathoms, it's and brand new, the prices have gone just totally stupid.
It's absurd. What are they trying to do? It doesn't make sense.
In my opinion, I think that they're trying to position the Swatch brands at certain brackets, and they don't want overlap. So as Omega is climbing up the ladder, trying to reach Rolex areas price wise, Blancpain has no choice but to go up, right? And then that affects Cartier, that affects Jacques Rose, that affects La Chute Original, it affects everything. It's terrible.
Or Glashütte Original. It's one of my favorite brands.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sad to see what's happening with them.
It's unfortunate.
Mm.
So was there ever a purchase mistake? Was that maybe it was the Maurice Lacroix that ended up teaching you something important?
Well, that one and buying my first Rolex purchase ever both taught me like think it through.
Mm.
Yeah,
At least the Rolex, you probably got your money back at least.
I did. I got my money back on the Rolex at least. But it was one of those things where I was really early in collecting again, and I went for the Rolex that I could afford rather than the Rolex that I wanted,
Mm.
and I didn't connect with it at all.
Yeah. I yeah, I got a Rolex Explorer 2, not the current model, the one right before, also
Yeah,
the big one, the 43 millimeter, which I had coveted for a long time, and I got it as part of a trade, and I made out really well on it. And when the prices started climbing, this is just right before COVID, 2018, 19, it got to a point where I couldn't justify having $17,000 on my wrist. So I wound up selling it, and actually I sold it, bought some watches, and kept some cash. And looking back, if I would have kept it another year or two, I probably could have made up better. But yeah, Rolex is at least, if you make a mistake on a Rolex,
yeah,
you're not at a loss. You know what I mean? You make a mistake on a Maurice Lacroix,
yep.
you might be out a couple grand.
100%.
So what watch do you wear most versus what gets the most attention online?
The watch I wear the most is this one right now, but that changes frequently.
Okay.
For a while, actually, one of my most worn watches was Giuliano Mazzoli Mono Metro. It's a big watch, but I love it. I just love it. But the ones that get the most attention out of my collection, actually, this gets a ton of attention in public because the dial color.
Yeah, the color. I was just about to say that. The,
Yeah.
the color it's so beautiful.
And then this one, I'll grab it. This one gets comments every time I go out. And I love it because I haven't had it that long. And I know the owner of this brand and I really like him. And I'm excited to like tell him that, that like, hey, your watch gets a lot of attention. It's the Ren Mad Diver.
The Ren. Yeah, those are beautiful.
Like literally the past 3 times I was at the gym, I was wearing this at the gym and I had a guy come up to me 2 days ago and was like, what kind of watch is that? And I sort of,
Is that a sandwich dial?
yes, sandwich dial.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this watch. It wears so thin, like,
Mm.
and the rubber strap is so soft and supple. It's just, yeah, this watch is so great. It's actually exceeded all my expectations, and $1,400, and you got the ETA movement in there. This isn't a Sellita.
Very, very cool. Is there a watch everyone loves that just doesn't click for you?
A lot of Rolexes. I mean, the Submariner doesn't click for me very much. I understand why people love it. It doesn't do anything for me, and also the Daytona. But when I say those things, people think I'm a Rolex hater, and I'm definitely not. Like, there are a bunch of them that I love. It's just, yeah, the community seems to love those, and I am one of those people that just goes like, I don't get it.
Well, that's the hype.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
The Daytona is a great watch. They couldn't sell them worth, which is the guy from Prestex was telling a story where he was working at a store at the time, and people were allowed to come in and trade in watches, and they'd buy them back
Yeah.
and sell them whatever. And every time someone came with a Daytona, they'd be like, "Oh no, not another Daytona!" Like they didn't want
Yeah.
it because they couldn't sell them.
I got told I was a liar for saying they used to not be able to sell them.
No, 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 no. They couldn't sell them. They couldn't sell the Royal Oaks either. In the
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s, the standard Royal Oak Jumbo, no one was buying them. They were just dead stock. So was the Nautilus, for that matter. There's a
Huh.
there's a Patek Philippe dealership in Montreal. I remember going to visit them in the 90s, and their counters were full of Nautiluses and the at the time brand new Aquanaut, and they hated the fact that they had another sport model because they didn't want them in their showcases.
No okay.
To go back now with a couple $100,000 and
Oh,
buy all
man.
that stock up, and then come back today, that would be a dream.
I would buy them all up and not even wear them.
Yeah, exactly. Keep them nice in boxes and then just
Yeah.
sell them off.
So what's next for you? Do you plan to do some experimentation with different styles of videos, maybe do some long form? I actually saw that you have a YouTube channel that you haven't really leaned into.
Yeah.
Did you ever consider doing long form videos there, or?
Yeah, there's going to be some long form stuff coming out pretty shortly. I can say I can't say what it is yet, but I can say that it's coming soon, and it will be with Federico.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh man, that would be really cool.
We've got some stuff brewing, and once it's fully live, I'll be announcing it and it'll be official. But yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm going down to Miami too, so we can start getting ready to do the next step, or like the new thing that is going to be part of my channel.
Sweet, man.
Well, he's a smart guy, man. Partnering with you, that sounds like a match made in heaven, to be honest. It'd give you probably some inventory to putz with too. That should be
Oh,
fun.
he already has. Yeah, I just actually sent back. I've had him send out a few loaners. I had a Glasssuit original diver
There
here
you go.
just the other day, and I just sent it back, and I was sad to see it go. And it got picked up. Like, I did a video on it, and then he texted me the next day. He's like, "Hey, that sold," and I was like, "All right, I'll send it back." I was like really I was enjoying wearing it. But yeah, one of my
Have
followers
you ever
bought
seen
it.
those Glasssuit original Evos from late 90s, early 2000s? You ever seen those with the angles?
That's the one that I just had, the Evolution.
Oh,
Yeah.
but not the new one,
No,
like an
this
older
this was a
version.
2002 Evolution.
Oh, I love those. Those are so cool.
I just wore it for like a month, man. It's the
Oh,
nicest bezel I've ever felt on a watch. They're very
and that bracelet
luxurious.
and
They're
coolest angles.
they're
Yeah,
very
that was such a
luxurious watches. I mean, that's when Glasssuit was really doing the good stuff.
Oh yeah, pushing the envelope. I mean, they
Yeah.
were really pushing the envelope.
They weren't under
Like
swatch yet. They could just do what they wanted.
no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Love those.
All right, so we like to sometimes end the videos with a little fun rapid fire, some questions for you. So I'll start. Diver, chronograph, GMT, or field watch?
If I'm choosing field watch, yeah. It's the most practical for me.
Okay. And what about vintage or modern?
Modern.
Bracelet or strap?
Strap.
Ugh. You just hurt my feelings. One watch under $1,000 everyone should own.
Hamilton Field manual wind.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great choice, man.
Yeah, the khaki.
Most underrated complication?
Damn. That's I don't that's really hard. That's so difficult because it's not underrated. My favorite complication, I think, is still one of the best complications, but it's not underrated. So I don't know.
What is that?
I think a chiming watch is still very awesome. It's not just a gimmick. It's a practical thing. Like, if you wanted to use it the way it's supposed to be used,
Mhm.
they're practical. I mean, there's a reason why the president was given Vulcain crickets. Alarm watches, mechanical alarm watches were like very practical for people that needed something like that. And I still think that they're cool. I mean, you could say it's underrated now because you don't need it because you have, alarm clocks and your phone and all of that.
Yeah. Have you ever handled a cricket when it's actually ringing? It's pretty violent.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine having that in the middle of the night
Yeah.
and
It's
say you have your head on your arm.
definitely going to
Oh,
wake you
damn,
up.
will it ever?
It's definitely going to wake you up. There's no way you're sleeping through that thing. Well, and when I was at in Geneva at Time to Watches, their booth was right next to ours when I was with Fitwell,
Oh, cool.
and it was just constant all day, every day, just hearing those things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can imagine. So what's your airport watch?
I always travel with the Omega Railmaster when I'm flying.
Which one is that? Which one do you have?
I have the 2025. I didn't bring it over because it's in my other case. I got the 2025 one, the center seconds with the like gray dial.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's beautiful on strap, obviously.
No, that's one of the only watches that I wear on bracelet. So there's like 3 watches that I prefer on bracelet. No, 4. My Monceau Model 01 on bracelet for sure.
Okay, yeah, you got to have the bracelet.
The Circula Facet has to be on bracelet. Surprisingly,
Yep.
the Christopher Ward, I love this on bracelet, even though the rubber strap is killer. And then the Omega. Everything else is on a strap.
Yeah.
What's your guilty pleasure watch?
Oh, guilty pleasure watches for me are cheap watches.
Yeah, me too.
The AE 1200 by Casio.
That's a good one, yeah. I'm addicted to Casio.
I have 3
Yeah.
now. I have 3 of them. Well,
Oh,
because
wow.
like they come in different
Yeah.
colors, right? And different finishes. And like I had two. I had one with like the silver finish or like this, silver finish, and then the black one.
Mhm.
And then I saw a modded one the other day for sale, and I was like, I'm gonna buy that. Guilty
Yep.
pleasure. It was like $40.
Sure. Why not?
Fuck it. There's so,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Why not?
I
Sure.
honestly do think that it's an attractive watch.
100%.
There's something really neat about it.
And they don't count. So between now and
Yeah.
October, if you want to pick up a couple of watches like that, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Enablers
Well,
we are.
with what I used to spend my money on in my head, I go, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I have to agree with that.
You used to buy awful stuff. Yeah, like waste your money on stupid things. So like getting Casios, yeah, it's always, those are guilty pleasure watches, Casios.
And what's your biggest collector pet peeve?
When people say that you need to check every box, that you need this and you need that. Like when somebody sees your collection and jumps in the comment section and goes, it's good, but you need a chronograph. No, you don't. You don't need anything.
Mm.
You just get what you like.
Yeah. Some of my friends have like sort of rules like that in their own collections. And I'm like, I have enough rules like in life that I don't want that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it comes to watches, like,
Yeah.
If that works for them, I mean, that's, it makes them happy. Fine. Don't put on your rules on someone else.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you rather read a nice coffee table watch book or go down the YouTube watch rabbit hole?
Lately I've been enjoying publications.
Nice.
Yeah, like reading them. So I got a bunch. Hold on, I'll show you one that I really like, that I got that's worth talking about. So I have the number one first issue of Craft and Tailored.
Oh, that's cool.
This
Yeah.
is, so for anybody over like 35 that's into watches, that used to love peeling through like a good magazine that had articles worth reading and photography that was actually interesting, that made you think a little bit. This is the best. Like I've torn through this so many times now. So Cam Barr from Craft and Taylor, he found me in Geneva and gave me one. And I mean, dude, it's just like, this is so professional. And this is like what we used to read back in the day, you know?
Yeah. We got to get you, our co-host that's not here today, Brent, has a publication called The Calibrated Wrist.
Oh, I'd love to check it out.
He has a website, similar to Worn and Wound and so forth, but they do a print publication twice a year. And his third issue just came out a couple of weeks ago.
I'd love to check it out.
I have a couple of pieces in it. Yeah, I have a couple of pieces written in there. I think, Bob, you might have one or two in there.
Yeah.
And you've done some photography. So we'll make sure to get you a copy of that.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
No problem. If your collection disappeared tomorrow, what's the first watch you'd buy again?
I would get the Christopher Ward again.
That's a toughie.
Because this, like, at least I could have this and wear it every day. Like, I know this is good in every situation.
Yeah.
I almost said the Omega, but the Omega is thousands more. So like the practical, like in real life, if I really lost my collection, I wouldn't go and drop $5,000-$6,000 on another watch. I would get, a $1,200 watch for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we really appreciate this, Andy. This was a lot of fun. Make sure to check out Andy on TikTok. It's at the.watch.chronic.
Yep. Yeah, but if anybody just types in Andy's watches, they'll find it.
Okay. And same as Instagram, Andy's_watches on Instagram. If there's anything you'd like to plug or show fans might be able to meet you at in person coming up, the floor is yours.
Yeah. I definitely want to plug one thing. New York City, at the end of the month on the 28th, I will be with Formex for the release of their new watch.
Sweet.
Oh, they're doing that again. Okay, because they did it last year with the ceramic stuff, right? Was it last year or the year before?
It was the year before that. I was at the Ceramica drop. Yeah. So, this year, something big. I can tell you that.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that. Just a final reminder to go to timepieceshow.com to get your tickets for the Montreal Timepiece Show happening this coming weekend on the 30th and 31st of May. And if you want to attend the Timepiece Social Club event on Thursday, May 28th, go hit the RSVP link in the show notes. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll see you soon.
The Time to Calibrate podcast is a bi-weekly show and is available wherever you listen to podcasts. Have a question or a comment? Email us at timetocalibrate@gmail.com, or you can find us on Instagram at timetocalibrate. If you haven't given us a follow or a review yet, please do so. This helps platforms recommend us to like-minded listeners. You can also follow us individually on Instagram. I'm at Mark Time to Watch. Bob is at Time to Go 1978, and Brent is at Caliber 321. Also, be sure to check out Bob's Time to Go Travel and Timepieces YouTube channel, and be sure to visit thecalibratorist.com for all your watch-related news, editorials, and reviews. Lastly, if you like our show, do tell a friend. Heck, tell lots of friends. We'd greatly appreciate it. That's it for now. T2C out.